Hello everyone, this is Mr. Informal back with podcast, the Mr. Informal podcast. I go by the name of Mr. Informal. I hope you are doing well today. I hope you are being safe and I hope you are being peaceful, especially in these uncertain, intense time. So, let me repeat it again. This is the 108 episode of the Mr. Informal podcast. Do not forget to add me on Instagram, MisterInformal, and then check out my website, mrinformal.com. And don't forget to check out my store. Added some new items in there: key fobs, tote bags, shopping bags, zipper pouches. Check those out. So these are the three topics. Yes, three, because the last topic is going to be quite tense. So number one, SpaceX. SpaceX, the first private company to ever go in space. Number two, retail attraction. What can retail do to attract the consumer back? Meaning to check out their stores again. Last but not least, retail in protest. Yes, a lot of looting, a lot of stolen goods, a lot of burning. I mean, not just retail alone, but small businesses. Doesn't even matter if it's retail. But those are the three topics for today. So let's go ahead and start the podcast. On to the first topic. I'm not sure if you heard, but SpaceX has become the first private company to successfully launch humans into space, especially going to the Kennedy Space Center. Not only that, the space station. And it docked at the International Space Station on May 31, which is basically earlier. So, let's talk about this. It's been quite a long time since space itself has generated this much buzz. Not only that, the name of the SpaceX ship is called the Dragon. Quite an interesting name. But nonetheless, it is a partnership with NASA, and SpaceX was successful at launching astronauts to space and also docking at the International Space Station. So, what does this tell us? Does this mean that America is focusing on space itself, just like the 1950s or the 60s? Well, I'm not really entirely sure. No one really knows. But the way it generated buzz is something to behold. It's something to be proud of, because it lets you know that now any company can go to space now. I'm not sure if there are space traffic enforcers or security that you have to go through, but it certainly lets us know that now any firm can certainly launch humans into space. Not only that, it's certainly cheaper than before. And SpaceX, also Virgin, has been working through research and development to make better rockets, reusable rockets. Certainly SpaceX has shown us that. And I cannot wait what the future will hold about space. Certainly Elon Musk, the owner of SpaceX, wants to go to Mars, wants to live on Mars, wants to terraform Mars. So maybe that's what the future is. Maybe Mars is our next destination. Could be Mercury, could be Jupiter. Heck, it could be the whole solar system. But will it be in my lifetime or your lifetime? I don't know. But it certainly does generate buzz, and it kind of makes you feel a little bit nostalgic. it's kind of how the people felt back in the 1960s when NASA was basically on top of its game, whether it be launching rockets, going to space, going to the moon. Not even though that's controversial, but at the same time, Americans were into space. I mean, a lot of cars were designed in space. A lot of sewing machines were into space. A lot of toys, a lot of things were talking about space, rockets, traveling to the cosmos. And what's next? Let's go back to what's next. I mean, we're probably gonna travel more, but certainly at the same time, I'm not sure but we're also creating a lot of pollution in our orbit because we're dropping rockets off just anywhere and everywhere, and little bits of pieces of metal in our orbit. So we're creating a lot of space waste, and hopefully that will be cleaned up. But then again, nobody really knows. So, SpaceX, the first private firm to launch humans into space. Not NASA, not government company, but the first private firm. Who's the next private firm? Would it be Virgin? I don't know. But for now, at least it is an accomplishment. On an article, opinion article from Retail Dive. The question is, what will bring consumers back to brick and mortar stores? Post-pandemic retailers that reopen without major changes to how they do business could lose out, writes Consumer in Motion Daniel Hodges. So let's answer that. So certainly safety is going to be number one. Okay, safety will be number one, whether you have hand sanitizers in the front, temperature gauges on the front scanning you, temperature scanners. Number two, retail design. Is it going to be a maze? Will it be just like how IKEA is? Different ways. Is there going to be something in the middle to make sure everyone's separated, to keep their distance? And number three, last but not least, is that there's going to be lines outside until we get a vaccine. Lines outside, limiting the amount of people. So certainly that could happen, but most of all, what will attract consumers? That is the big question. Consumers will always be attracted to me by two things. Retail experience that has multiple factors. Would be customer service, the design of the store. Is it neat? Is it too much? What about the colors? How about it makes you? What about it makes you feel? And then the second one is design. What about the clothes? Do you have the clothes? Look, price. You can include price, but no, it's all about the design here. Do people like the design? Is it attractive? Does it fit? Is it new? Is it trendy? Like, the list goes on and on. Now, I'm not going to get into the article much because it's a opinion piece. Just like I'm adding my opinion right now. But Best Buy, no, I shouldn't say Best Buy is a brick and mortar stores. The malls are certainly going to change. Definitely. I know for a fact that these companies are going to limit the amount of clothes that they have in retail now because they don't want to put too much. But here's the problem. That none of these stores could ever answer or could ever change. When it comes to Christmas shopping, Thanksgiving shopping, it's not going to change, that's for sure. It's not going to change no matter how much the design is different, no matter how much the design is that good, no matter what kind of retail experience you have, customer support, design, walkways, whatever. When you have that many people, everything goes all out. Everything, all the rules, all of that is just out the window. Then you ask yourself, well, what will attract consumers in the brick mortar stores? With just two things, retail experience and then the design. whether it be the item or whatever the device is. But it certainly is not gonna change during Christmas. It's not, because certainly that's going to be totally different when you have that many people shopping into one store or into one mall. On to the third topic, and also the last topic. It's quite heavy, as you see from the news, for social media, from your friends and family. I'm sure you see a lot of protest, which is to hear their voices and see the purpose. At the same time, there are also riots going on, looting, breaking, stealing into retail stores. This is tough. This is absolutely tough. But do we really need to loot to get the message out? Why not burn cars instead? But why you gotta loot retail stores? Why you gotta loot small businesses? Why you gotta steal from small businesses? I mean, why not just burn a police car? I'm not gonna say that you go ahead and burn a police car, but I'm just saying. I mean, there are so many things to put your anger on, but why do you have to steal, break, and loot small businesses? Heck, even retail businesses, even the corporate ones. Why? Me personally, I never liked the cops. Ever since the day I was pulled over, I never liked them. I never do, because I've seen the injustices, I've seen the unfair actions that they took. I've seen the way they treat certain types of people. So I never liked the cops. Anytime I see the cops, I always say, oh, here we go. Don't get me wrong. There are times when cops do their job. But going back to topic, retailers, small business restaurants are just coming back to normal. They're starting to open back up. But now these things are happening. We're stepping back. I mean, we're basically ruining our startups. They're ruining people's work. Many of these employees are waiting to go back to work, but now they can't. Are they going to be paid? No one really knows. Especially these small business who've had work for their entire life just to make the business run. And now this happens. Now what are they gonna do? Yeah, people are gonna say insurance. Okay, but what about the people who work at the store? Are they gonna get insurance? I mean, are they gonna get paid? I mean, what's gonna happen here? I mean, look. In these times, things are tough. Things are tense. Seems like voices are not being heard. Justice are not being given. There's no rhymes or reason. There's no end game here. There's no goal. Like what's the goal here? Like, what are we really trying to achieve? I've seen press conferences. And yet, when you see these people looting, there's barely any arrest. And if there is an arrest, it's already too late because all the items are gone. All these people who looted, who stole, are already gone. And they're probably only arrested a few people who stolen, but there's really nothing much. And people say, oh, we don't have enough people. Well, look, I won't be surprised if a lot of retailers sue the city. I won't be surprised. They're probably gonna make an argument stating that you did not protect our stores. Heck, you did not even arrested those people, even if they were in front of you. And all you cared about was maintaining the peaceful protest. And then they would say, why couldn't you send half of the police to the looters, to the stealers, to the breakers? it's like a art war, divide and conquer. You place certain people, and then if this area has a lot of problems, you send the closest support over there. But this is just bad all around. This is absolutely bad. I mean, in the end, the people that will suffer are the employees. They're not gonna get back to work. I'm not even sure if they're gonna get paid. Even if they do get paid, they're probably just gonna use their sick leave or their paid vacation. I mean, look, you don't want to use your paid vacation. The paid vacation is for vacation. That's why it's called paid vacation. Or they're not even gonna get paid at all. And oh man, this is one of the worst weekends. It's not just retail. It's like I said, it's just small business, whether it be restaurants, whether it be a salon, whether it be just a general store. Heck, bands are getting looted. Nike. You would think. Look, don't get me wrong. Some luxury companies were also stolen, but I guess some people decided to steal the easiest when they could have they could have stolen something bigger. What about the bank? Nobody ever thought of maybe stealing a bank? But look, all joking aside, it's going to be tough trying to digest all of this in basically Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so on. And we have so many things going on that we are trying to make sense of this. We're trying to keep our head leveled. But let's not forget about the message. I think the message is the most important thing. And the message is that equal justice. That is the message. And we'll see if that holds up, because this is going to keep going if not. And so that basically concludes this podcast 108. I hope you enjoy yourself. I hope you enjoy listening to me, and I hope you enjoy this podcast. And be safe, be peaceful. Hopefully you are still alright. And if your state has opened up, that's great. But apparently where I am still hasn't. Now we just took a step back. Looks like we're gonna stay even longer at home, which I don't want to. So I'll just be on my Instagram, and that you can add me MISTERINFORMAAL, and then check out my website mrinformal.com, MRINFORMAL.com. So I will see you in the next podcast. Bye bye.